let's keep diving in. Specifically, I want to say thank you for tuning in and let you know how you can continue the journey with us. Number one, keep showing up, keep tuning into the 12-hour marathon, live or replay, and also the podcast. You can find that at beyourgps.com. And let us know how we're doing, how we can improve the show, make it even better for you. Would love to hear your feedback on that. And also, when you're ready to get your message out on the 12-hour marathon as a guest, send me a message. Would love to talk to you about being a guest or what the process is to become a guest and the types of people that qualify. And then also, when you're ready to launch your message in an even bigger way and launch a podcast, come talk to me. I am here for you to help you take those next steps into becoming your greatest possible self and building a platform that truly impacts the world. Okay, Chris at beyourgps.com, facebook.com/th3burns, at I am Millionaire Chris. Would love to hear from you, and let's talk, let's go deep and build an epic relationship and change the world together. Looking forward to talking to you. Next up is the iTunes review of the week. It's by C. Trippy. And C. Trippy says, great content and energy. I am a newbie and I'm already improving what I do daily from the great content. Thank you. Thank you, C. Trippy. I appreciate you giving us that review. And for you out there, if you want to let us know how we're doing, give us some feedback, get a chance to be shouted out an entire 12-hour marathon, go give us a review on iTunes and let us know what you love about the show and what you want to see even more of. Thanks in advance for doing that. Looking forward to hearing from you and shouting you out and building a relationship. Stay tuned in. Stay plugged in. Stay subscribed. #Lego. We're just getting started up in here. Now, in this hour, how to multiply your message, definitely stick around till the end, because one idea has the power to transform the rest of your life. And I don't want you to miss it, especially in this conversation of making a huge freaking impact. Okay, we're gonna have a lot of fun here, so stay tuned. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you got any questions on social media after the fact, listen to the podcast, anything like that you want to know, diving into multiplying your message and impact and influence, feel free to tag me at I am Millionaire Chris or facebook.com/th3burns, or if you have me on Facebook, just tag me. That works too. If you're a friend, then do that. I'm diving in right now. Your message multiplied. What does that mean? Why did I create this particular theme? Why did I create this awesome conversation for you to be a part of? I'm going to type in some comments right now to multiply my message. Multiplied. Cool. So your message multiplied. Why did I create this conversation? I see so many people who want to make a bigger impact. And what better way to talk about multiplying a message, getting it out to more people, impacting more human beings? What better way to talk about it than on this incredible platform where we multiply so many people's messages on a weekly basis? Okay, so I feel that when you leverage a message, when you leverage a belief, a mindset, something of value, when you leverage that and you share that and you serve with that and you impact lives with that, the more people, the better. As long as it's quality, as long as we're going for real quality and deep relationships as well as wide reach, then that's super powerful. A better way to invest our time and our energy than focusing on quality, making sure every interaction, every action, every behavior, every thought, every belief, it's coming from a place of pure empowerment, of love, of joy, of acceptance. Start with that. Start with living the culture and getting that message out, and then follow that with massive freaking execution. Start with a pure intention, come from this pure source, these roots, and then allow the roots to grow and to reproduce, so to speak. The roots produce the fruits. So it has to be good roots. And then once the message is good, then it's worthy of being multiplied. We want to multiply it as many times as we can. We want the tree to grow as big as it can, grow as many leaves as it can, as many branches, produce as many seeds. And, depending on the climate and the region, theoretically, we want it to produce as many other trees as it possibly can. So go produce seeds. Go leave the legacy of building a forest. Go leave the legacy of turning a forest into houses, turning a forest into more forests. Ideally, we want as many trees as we possibly can at this point in our human evolution journey. And there's so many things that trees are able to help us create as well. So there's legacy behind that, there's impact, and that's true multiplication of the message. And I have a particular fascination with leverage because my own journey of video games, I was hungry to achieve the maximum level of my character every single game that I played. I just wanted to get to the max. I wanted to get to the end. I wanted to get to the finish line. I wanted to get to the best equipment. Show me better equipment. That was the thought that I was running through my mind. Running through my mind. Show me new moves. Show me better equipment. Show me better skills. Faster, stronger, more agile, more powerful, more mana, more health. More magic points, more health points. It was all about up-leveling my character, because that gave me leverage. It allowed me to achieve things faster, allowed me to defeat the monsters and the bosses more effectively, more efficiently, more easily, and then go on to even bigger monsters. I wanted to get so good at just being it's called farming. It's called farming monsters and enemies and bosses and things like that, where you can do it just on repeat, on autopilot. It becomes like a farm. And so I wanted to get so good at these games so I could farm the things to be able to get and achieve even greater things and achieve the biggest, most powerful bosses. And somewhere along the journey, I started being more about the achievement of the thing. That was more of a thrill than about what's my experience right now? What's my experience playing this game? Am I having fun? Does this feel good? Am I full of joy? That was what I was checking in with. I was checking in with, am I achieving enough? Am I doing enough? And so I started reading strategy guides. I started looking up stuff online, looking for cheat codes, looking for how to beat the game as quickly as possible. And it was just a mindset that I developed and adopted. How do I go from A to B or A to Z and then have to hit every letter in between, but how do I go straight from A to Z? What's the path for that? Or from A to F to Q to Z? How do I get there? How do I do that? And it's like I wanted to get there as quickly as possible. And so I also started seeing ways that I could use and leverage the resources, the systems, the programs of the game, and have it keep working even when I wasn't there. So in these video games, I started putting up a shopping space. I created a store, a virtual store in these various games that I played, and I would sell items in the store. And I would have my character posted up at a particular spot in a well-trafficked area, right? Do your market research. You don't put your person way out in the wilderness where nobody walks by. Put it in the shopping, center in the town where there's a ton of foot traffic. So I started learning these principles early on. How do I leverage my time, my energy, my resources? And so it became a game to me to be more leveraged, to multiply, not like my message at that point was to multiply my message of, hey, I have value to offer, come buy my stuff. And I wanted to multiply the chance of success and the chance of victory, the chance of receiving money for my items, virtual in-game currency, by being in a leveraged position, by writing words that helped me leverage people's attention, right? I didn't write crappy headlines that nobody could tell what I was selling or what I had in my store. I had accurate, powerful words convey, here's the value that I have to offer. Come check my store out. So I'm grateful because I started learning that, hey, I want to multiply my message. I want to multiply my value. I want systems to work while I'm not here. I put my character there, and I'd go to school and it would be there all day long. Sometimes the connection would disconnect and it would shut down. And it's like, like getting so frustrated and angry. Like I took everything and not personally, but I allowed things to really get me frustrated and annoyed and pissed off, and I'd throw things and say, "Oh, come on," just getting angry when things didn't go my way. And so I learned at a young age, leverage is important to me, and especially into engineering. Thankfully, I had a really great opportunity to dive into science, into math, into these like, wow, holy guacamole, incredibly deep and challenging, complicated subjects that I had to wrap my mind around. And it really expanded my mind. It really taught me how to think, how to work on a deadline, how to do a lot, manage myself and my resources, my energy. And I'm super grateful for college and electrical engineering and everything that it taught me. And I am stoked to reintegrate the technology aspect of my life and be reintegrating it every day, every day reintegration, reinviting, and just going with the flow at whatever level my purpose is right now. Because I've used technology a ton in building my business and being able to stand out from, let's say, other people who just do Facebook Lives. I do a 12-hour live stream. I use a software called Wirecast that allows me to use graphics like these that are unique. I'm all about being unique. I'm all about leverage. It's like, hey, there's this cool thing called Wirecast, called OBS Studio, called different things. I think StreamYard is another one. There's these different platforms. How can I leverage them to make a bigger impact, to multiply my message? See, it's great for me to jump on a Facebook Live for 12 hours straight, and every time I have a guest on, I have to start a new live feed, or I can just keep the same one open and keep a Zoom room and use the Zoom room to stream out. That's great. It's also great when I take the Facebook Live feed, learned how to take the Facebook Live feed that I had been creating for the 12-hour marathon and turn it into a podcast. Holy moly, like leverage, baby. Like I already created it. I just get to edit it. Like the creation is the work. Setting up the interviews, doing them, being there for 12 hours straight, that's the work. The easy part is having a system to run that is able to take that content, chop it up, put it into individual interviews, and allow each of these guests to get their own podcast, YouTube, blog posts, and show notes so that they're celebrated as the epic human beings that they are, and they get to put that on their website and all that great stuff. So that was leverage. That was multiplying my message. And so the one thing that I really want to recommend to you, because it's been a personal journey of mine, is not to go for quantity first and then quality, but rather quality first and then quantity. Jason Jean was talking about it earlier today, that a lot of people think that they can just skip over the relationship building today, the shaking hands, getting in front of people, doing the networking. Yeah, you can build a business online. I've seen people do it very successfully, and I don't know if they did it all online, but I see a large majority of it really coming from online. And for me, I had to do a ton of in-person networking to get to the level of confidence and willingness to be able to create online content, to be able to create videos. I was already doing Toastmasters. I was already speaking at Toastmasters. I was already speaking in front of, when I joined network marketing 7 years ago, before the very first video that I made, because why would I make a video? I don't have a reason to make a video. Well, you think I got something to teach? I just want to go play my video games. I wasn't even like streaming on Twitch. That wasn't even a possibility. Or if it was a possibility, it wasn't on my awareness. It was like MySpace days. Feels like. Was MySpace around in college? No, I think it was Facebook. Facebook was around 7 years ago. MySpace was definitely dead. I think MySpace died when I was in high school. Late high school? Early college? Something like that. And in network marketing, I had to start sharing my story in front of the room. I had to, I still remember my first home event. The first event I did at my house, invited over people from my high school. I think there was like four people that showed up or something like that, 4 or 5 people. None of them bought anything. It was like, man, scary. Super scary back then. But I recognize, hey, this is the system. I'm going to work the system till I find something better, right? Like in jobs and careers, I'm like, okay, I'll work the system. I'll feel like I've learned enough, and then it's time to move on. And maybe, life, source, God, creator wanted to kick me out of those positions before I was ready. It's like, hey, it's time to move on, even if you don't feel like you're ready. Go. Go. And each one of those things, like I learned how to really integrate and adopt certain things and qualities and characteristics about the job and training and skills so that I could succeed today, and I'm still doing that to some degree. I have experiences today and even the past years of experience that I'm putting together the pieces to be able to create even more success now. And I'm sure in the next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I will continue to piece together the skills, the successes, the patterns, the interests, curiosities, passions, genius that I have developed unknowingly, right? Like going door to door in Verizon, selling business phone lines and internet for 9 months. That was hard as heck. It sucked. It was not fun. It just feels like such a blur. It feels like so unreal that was like even a part of my journey. It's crazy. But that was an essential ingredient to be able to develop my sales abilities, to develop who I am today, to develop my thicker skin, not take things personally, to be willing to do what it takes, to go out in the 100-degree heat and go to door to door in businesses and like, this sucks, like be willing to face that every day and somehow make it fun, somehow make it enjoyable. And I did the best that I could. And now knowing what I know now, like I can only imagine what it would be like to go back. I wouldn't go back because I am so much more connected to my purpose and my cause, and that wouldn't align with me. But I have skills. I have skills now even more that I could bring back to them that would make the job much more fun or enjoyable or successful, etc. Multiplying your message. Because impact, influence, how do you actually create more of that? I'm just really sharing with you my own journey. Number one, because it's fun for me to talk about. Number two, I am impacting and influencing you simply by you tuning into this and being aware of what Chris Burns went through and seeing my humanity, the humanness, the struggles, the difficult times, the piecing it together. Even if it's, let's say, July 17th, 2019, when you are listening to this or when the podcast comes out, whatever day it is, and you hear me for the first time, you hear me for the 10th time, whatever, 100th time, 1000th time, and then you look, you keep doing your journey, I keep doing my journey, and in a year, 3 years, 5 years from now, it's July 17th, 2024, and you think back to that time where you listened to a 12-hour marathon that Chris Burns was doing. It's Marathon 106. And now he's on like Marathon 250 something. 300 something. 350 something? Yeah, 350 something. 5 years. 300 plus. And you're like, damn. Chris is interviewing Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone and Ty Lopez and Gary Vee and Oprah and all these epic human beings. Like it's like he runs this freaking show. Like he run this show. And you'd be like, holy crap. Chris Burns, how did you? Oh, that's right. I remember when you were piecing together the skills and the resources and the people and the teams and the vision and the clarity and yourself, putting that all together, working on yourself, refining, polishing as JMO talked about earlier today, polishing the silver. It's not comfortable. The silver doesn't like being polished. It's going to be rough a little bit. The diamond, the charcoal probably doesn't like that process, turning into a diamond. The pressure of that, probably not a fan. But the diamond on the other end, it's like, whew, I'm a diamond, yo. This is epic. So, putting the pieces together, impacting, influencing. First of all, you better be showing up. You better be showing up and showing up at the level that you know you're capable of, whether that's launching a podcast, whether it's having your own show, whether it is creating content, writing your book. I'm writing a book right now. I'm so frustrated by this process. I am so stoked for when I have a ghostwriter who I'm able to just dictate all these different lessons and things and yada, 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 and put this in front of someone, the content, have a ghostwriter put it together, and then I get to add on all the flourishes and flares and all that beautiful stuff. And I write notes on this thing and then hand it back to my editor or whoever and say, hey, put this, make it look like this. I am such a powerful fucking visionary. I love taking visions and possibilities and bringing them into reality. And right now, I'm learning how to rub two sticks together, so to speak. I'm learning how to connect the plug together to broadcast to the world. I'm learning how to, connect the plug together to hook up to source, to creator, to divine guidance. And I'm learning to do that for other people and hook them up, hook their plug in, make that thing happen, so that they can make a bigger impact. What freaking switches do we got to flip in here? We're in the master control room. What do we got to flip? There's like a billion dang switches and memories and experiences and feelings and emotions and thought processes and beliefs. What do we got to do? And I love it. I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so excited to dive into gratitude later today. It's going to be epic. I can feel it. It's going to be sizzling hot. Are you started? Are you started at the level that you know you are capable of, that you are meant to be influencing the world at? Are you multiplying your message by one? Okay. Are you writing the book? Are you doing the show? Are you doing the podcast? Are you posting on Facebook, on Instagram? I had to grow through that phase of getting up on stage in front of my friends and being willing to embarrass myself and being deathly afraid of what people thought and being rejected and having nobody buy my very first meeting. But I kept getting up there and I started having people buy. And I had a pattern in my life that I judged myself for feeling like I never had success, big success in anything. Yeah, I graduated college. I had to do that. Didn't give myself credit for that. Yeah, I did 9 months of door-to-door sales in Verizon. Then I left. Didn't give myself credit for that. Yeah, I did a year and a half of Toastmasters, almost 2 years. Didn't give myself credit for that. For showing up week after week after week after week. The first year, especially in Toastmasters, I was there just about every week, probably like 95% of the weeks, So let's say 48, 49 out of 52 weeks. I was at Toastmasters on Sunday for 2 hours. 30-minute drive. It was like 3 hours. Plus, some days we met early, do an executive meeting. I was investing like time. Plus, I had homework and assignments and different roles and responsibilities to be working on throughout the week and contacting and connecting with people. Holy guacamole. I invested in myself. I showed up. I was multiplying my message with what I had, with the means that I had. So are you leveraging your systems? Are you leveraging the people around you? Like, are you tapping into audiences and people who are excited to hear your message? For me, like total transparency, I have not been playing at the level of communicating and building relationships with successful people that I know I'm capable of. Chris Burns, I love you, I forgive you, and you've been playing small. And I accept that about myself. I forgive myself for that. There's no shame. There's no guilt. There's no regret. It's just, hey, recognize that you've been hiding out from this scary thing, from this thing that takes more effort, right? Like building a relationship with Tom Bilyeu, Impact Theory. I've been talking about him a lot. Have I engaged with this stuff? Have I really commented on it? Not really. Do I want him as a guest on my show? Heck yes. Do I really want him? If I really wanted him, I can get anything I put my mind to. I am so fucking unstoppable when I put my mind to something. And am I acting in accordance and in alignment with getting him on the show, with the belief? I think it was Veronica who said something about the I get to line up with my destiny. What did she say? What was the quote? Janet says, working on it. I love it. So Veronica said something earlier that I loved. I loved it. Let's see if I can find it. I have to match my destiny. Something about matching my destiny. Like I have to match. No, they said they match my destiny. So first of all, like, okay. So this is great. Divine timing, frequency. They match my destiny. So Tom Bilyeu, if I feel like I'm not in his league and I'm not having conversations with him and I'm not stepping up to that plate and making it happen, I'm saying that he's not a part of my destiny, or I'm believing that I'm not actually meant to interact with him. At some level, I still feel insecure or not enough or afraid or whatever it might be. And so I don't truly believe he matches my destiny. Didn't up until now. And now I totally 100% believe Tom Bilyeu matches my destiny. Grant Cardone matches my destiny. Tai Lopez matches my destiny. Tony Robbins matches my destiny. And so it's not like they're on some pedestal. They match my destiny. They're in my path. They are like collaborators, influencers who I grow with, who I share experiences with, who I empower, who I uplift, who I recognize, hey, when I am there for them and support them and encourage them and engage and interact with them, connect them with awesome people, it makes a freaking difference. It makes a difference. Like I recognize that I make a difference. I recognize that my efforts make a difference. Recommending someone to be on Tom Bilyeu's show, Impact Theory, it makes a difference. The person may not get accepted. I can recommend Tom Bilyeu to go on other people's show. He may not accept them and see that as a great fit. But holy guacamole, man, I still do it. I don't take it personally. And that's what's been missing from me, is the engagement and interaction. Like, I'm on your level. I'm going to make introductions. I'm going to know that I add value to you. I'm going to know that making introductions may not always work out, but it's the energy of giving and showing that I see you, I acknowledge you, I value, and I want to support you. I believe in your mission. I believe in your cause, and I'm going to connect you with people who can help you get the message out to more people. And that's a level that I haven't been playing at. It's totally cool. I have been playing it at the level that I've been comfortable with, which is connecting people who are let's say 6-figure earners, and connecting them, and even 7 figures, $1 million earners, connecting them to different shows and different guests and playing around there. And that's sandbox, and that's awesome. It's a great start. Chris Burns. Woo! Chris Burns, you are crushing it. You are crushing it in a lot of ways that people aren't. Some people don't even create content on Facebook. Some people don't even have a freaking social media account because they are afraid of the world. They're afraid of people. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid of being judged. So Chris Burns, you do a weekly 12-hour live stream. You invite people to come on the 12-hour marathon. You get rejections. You get people who say no, who say they don't want to participate. You get people who say, heck yes, I'm stoked. Let's do it. It's all part of it. Not everyone's going to say yes. And certainly not everyone's going to say no when you got something that you believe in and you value. So ask yourself, what's going to multiply your message? For me, I really got hit over the head that my message multiplied. It's great what I'm doing. Like right now, freaking A, Chris Burns, I am proud of you. I acknowledge you for the 570 guests that you have interviewed on this 12-hour marathon. 2.5 years that you've been consistent with this. Holy guacamole. The speaking gigs that you got invited to because of this platform. The book that you've created because of your experience here and discovering everything that you've discovered. The trust and the investment, the faith. Oh my gosh. The faith that this platform is working out and growing and actually making an impact in the world. We're saying, no, it's not where I want it to be. No, I don't want to put in the time and energy. No, I'm not willing to go on that. No, no. Like Chris Burns, I acknowledge you. And so take this, you out there listening, receive this, own this energy of ownership, own this energy of ownership, and acknowledge yourself. What have you been doing? What have you been showing up at? That you first get to acknowledge yourself and trust that it's enough. This is enough. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Chris Burns, man, I'm not supposed to be right now. I'm 28 years old on July 17th. I'm not, quote unquote, supposed to be having Tony Robbins on my show today. Is it possible? Yes. Did it happen in another reality? Yes. In another quantum realm, or in the quantum realm, Tony Robbins came on my show today. I love it. And that I'm not supposed to have him on my show today. Like, that's not a necessity for me. So I get to trust that exactly where I'm at today is perfect. It's perfect that I had all these freaking world-changing human beings, and it's perfect that I got Jay and Lori who are about to come on and just blow the roof off this place. It's perfect. And no one is better or worse. And I think that there's a desire to, for me, it's like there's a desire to be around multi-millionaires, decamillionaires, centimillionaires, is that how you say it? Centimillionaires, and billionaires, like, heck yeah, bigger is better. Ooh! And I am so grateful for the human beings who are changing the world, who I get to support, who I get to help get their message out. Some of the guests who come on the 12-hour marathon, it's their very first online interview. Wow. Like, to be able to give that experience to someone who has a great message, who's articulate, who's thoughtful, who's congruent, who's ethical, who's becoming their greatest possible self. To choose someone and say, I choose you to be on this marathon. What a gift. What a gift of acknowledgement and recognition for someone and the work that they're doing, the development that they've done, and who they've become over the journey and through the process. My goodness. What a gift. What a blessing. Janet says, Tom Bilyeu. I love Tom Bilyeu. New to you. So psyched. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate it. And Andrew Hall, I see you out there. Jake Cooper, I see you out there. Oh my gosh. Janet, it's time to play bigger, girl. Let's go. I see Larry Blackman. I love you, brother. We got to catch up. Hope you're doing awesome. And I got to, like, if you haven't talked to my dad yet, got to make that happen, man. So, I want to say to you, how do you multiply your multage? How do you multiply your multage? How do you multiply your message? How do you do that? What is your next evolution of multiplication? For me is going on more podcasts, recognizing that I do have something really valuable to share is great. I was kind of playing safe for a while on my own 12-hour marathon interviewing other people, but now I'm like actively seeking out and engaging in more interviews, doing more interviews so I can get my message out and impact more people, which I'm super grateful for. So what is the multiplication of your message? Is it writing a book? Is it starting a show? Is it associating with higher levels of people? Is it going to more events? Is it hiring a coach? What is the multiplication of your message, of your efforts, of your presence, of your soul? What is the multiplication of that? How do you light that fire? Is it hiring a team member? Are you trying to do everything yourself? That doesn't work for very long. Or it might work as long as you make it work, but does it really work? Multiply your message. People are hungry. People are desperate. People are waiting. People are in pain. People are suffering. And your message is the cure. Chris Burns, 12-hour marathon, the message is like you can do anything you set your mind to. You have a message. The world needs to hear it. Create your platform. Be audacious. Be bold. I give you permission to just unleash. I had a woman, Sabina Matharu, who came on from the UK. It's like, what? Woman from UK. Awesome. And she started her show and generated clients to be a part of a book, generated clients to invest in her membership because of this 12-hour marathon. She said I was a huge inspiration for her to start her show because of this platform. So already, just being me, 2.5 years in, of course, there's a lot of things that I've heard of people I've impacted and people I've inspired. And I know there's a lot of things that I haven't heard. Probably heard 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%, something like that. I probably haven't heard 90, 95% of what impact I'm making in the world. And so I'm great with that. I'm great with knowing the impact that I'm making and also not knowing and just super appreciating my consistency in showing up and helping people get their message out and how much of a difference it makes in the world. Like I value that. I value who I'm being. I value what I stand for. I value how I do this 12-hour marathon. I value who I'm being right now in this interview. I value who I'm being in the last, let's say we're 9 hours in, about to be 9 hours into the 12-hour marathon, the last 3 hours. I value how I show up. I value my consistency, my personal integrity of bringing 110% in everything I do. I value it. So I invite you to multiply your message even more. Discover, how can I leverage, like I was doing with video games and maxing out my character and growing as much as I can and being the best version of that character, of myself that I could. What is your multiplication? What's the thing that you've been afraid of? For me, another thing I've been concerned of that I feel has stopped me from multiplying my message is actually trusting myself to feel. Like I haven't trusted myself to be able to feel it, to be able to go through the processes and stick to the processes of feeling and healing and diving into that, into the wounds, into the things I'm scared of, into the things that I feel like I've already done that. I've already done that work. I know that. I know the thing that's holding me back. I pretend like I do. When in reality, like I've scratched the surface and I said, oh, this sucks. I got some awesome stuff out of it. Okay, I'm good. I'm ready to go back. Awesome. No, I don't need it. I'm going back to the world of light. I'm going back to the comfort zone. Y'all just chill out here. I've totally processed all you guys, all you stuck negative emotions and energies. We're good. We're good to go. Peace. And then I keep experiencing the contrast and the things in life that say, bro, you haven't dealt with this yet. You keep kind of sweeping it under the rug. So when are you going to deal with it? Oh, you don't want to listen to us? Hey, bro, over here, bro, over here. It's like this little thing on my shoulder that's trying to get my attention. I just keep flicking it off. So multiply your message. Have fun. Enjoy the journey. Do the crappy work that sucks. Have the tough conversations. I'm super grateful for the woman of my dreams, Petya Kolibova. Mrs. Burning It Up is what I call her. She's not officially my wife yet. Will be. But I'm so grateful for the space that we have to have any conversation. And, it's really going to lead into Jay and Lori's conversation coming up here in a bit because they are talking about hardcore intimacy, hardcore just being real, being raw, being vulnerable and transparent when those traumas and wounds have come up. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for coming on here. If you want support with multiplying your message, launching your podcast, I love doing that. It gets my juices going. And, I love problem solving too. If there's things that come up, obstacles, challenges, blocks, resistances that come up for you. I mean, as you can see, I'm no stranger to communicating about resistance and blocks and dealing with that stuff. So there might be some stuff that comes up. You might have some hesitancy. You might have some uncomfortableness. So I just want you to know that I'm here for you. I believe in you, and your message deserves to get out there. You deserve to multiply your message. So anything I could do to help you and support you in that, I'm here for you. And I love you. Keep shining your light. Keep being you, and definitely subscribe to even more epic episodes like this. And more than likely, you're going to hear Jay and Lori coming on next. So stay tuned, and we will be right back.